In this lesson, we're going to learn how to solve linear inequalities. To start with, we need to talk about what is an inequality. So we've been solving equations, and we've already learned that an equation is always going to have an equal symbol. So for example, you might have the following equation. 3x plus 10 is equal to 34. Your goal is to get x by itself. You define the value of x. In other words, what can I replace x with to make this a true statement? What can I times by 3 and then add 10 to it to make it 34? So when we go and we solve this, we want to isolate x. So the first thing we would do is we would subtract 10 from 34. So 10 from 34 is 24. So I have 3x is equal to 24. Then divide both sides by 3. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. So x is 8. So what that means is x is the only number I can plug into this equation to make it a true statement. Only 3 times 8 plus 10 is going to get me 34. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 10 is 34. Nothing else will work. So what that means is I have one finite solution. Only 8 will make this a true statement. So what happens when I turn this into an inequality? Well, first off, what is an inequality? Well, inequalities are a lot like equations, except instead of using an equals, you could have a less than or equal to symbol. You could have a greater than or equal to symbol. You could just have a less than, or you could just have a greater than. So what happens when I change this? What happens when I use one of these symbols? So instead of it being 3x plus 10 is equal to 34, what if it was 3x plus 10 is less than or equal to 34? What does that mean about my solution? Well, it opens up a whole new world of solutions. So I still am going to solve this the same way I would if it was an equation. I still want to get x by itself by subtracting 10 from both sides. Bring down the 3x. Keep the symbol the way it is. 10 from 34 is 24. Divide both sides by 3. (24) divided by 3 is 8. But instead of it being x is equal to 8, now x is less than or equal to 8. So what does that mean about my solution? So what that means is that 8 is still a part of the solution. 8 will work. But what about 7? Will 7 also work? Well, let's check it out and see. So if I take 7 and plug that back into the original, (3 times 7 is 21. 21 plus 10 is 31. Is 31 less than or equal to 34? And the answer is yes, it's true. It works. So 7 could be a solution. Well, what about 9? Could 9 be a solution? So if I take 9 and I plug it in, 3 times 9 is 27. 27 plus 10 is 37. Is 37 less than or equal to 34? And the answer is no. This is false. So what that means is only numbers 8 and below will make this a true statement. So how many solutions am I going to have? Am I still going to have just one finite solution? No. I'm going to now have infinitely many solutions. So what an inequality symbol does is it opens your world up to where you can have more than just one solution, but not just anything's going to work. Only numbers that are 8 and below will keep this as a true statement.